Hello, everyone. Welcome to From Bell Square to Where, the American takeover.
Yeah.
Here we are.
America, fuck yeah.
Come on, hang on.
What? Are you trying to drive away every viewer right now?
Banner.
Doing a good job.
I was going to get the mop and put it on my head so I look like Donald Trump, but unfortunately, it's a bit mingy.
All right,
so,
let me just say something right now, okay? Forget we're American. We had no say in where our parents fucked. All right, so let's just leave it at that.
Well,
got a point.
No, it's no issue to me. Just get that chip off your shoulder, Glenn, and just move on with the show.
Well, don't be playing the national anthem before the show.
Right. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks everyone for listening to the audio at a later date. If you're doing that, just for those purposes of the audio listeners, we've got Alonzo Spencer. Say hello, Alonzo.
Hello, Andrew. Hello, guys.
Glenn, DITM. Everyone knows his voice. No introduction needed there, really.
Please.
No
introduction needed.
Yeah, but he just looks a bit weird today because he's got no glasses on and he's just making me,
Shut the fuck up. I'll put him on.
Throw me a little bit. And
go ahead.
Now I'm the odd man out. Hey, everybody. What's going on?
How are you guys?
Good.
Well,
I want January to be over with. All this transfer talk and rumor talk.
Wow,
grinds my gears.
It's been quite quiet, really. I think
for us, it's been very quiet.
I mean, even regarding links of players, it's not been quite as much as normal. But we'll go on to that because obviously that's a big talking point this month. I've got a few things to talk about with the people we've been linked to. I haven't spoken to you guys since Arteta took over, and we're not going to go through the whole bloody lot because he's been here quite a while now. But let's have a quick go through, because obviously I haven't podcasted since the last game, and I still think there was a load of positives against that, because, I mean, let's face it, they had quite a few players out, but, hey, so have we. They are one of our bogey teams. We don't normally do very well against them. It was away. Our away record is absolutely shocking. And they only drew with us because of a massively deflected shot. I think that was their only chance all game. So it wasn't a great game, but there's still quite a few positives I'm taking out of it. I'll go through it in a clockwise basis. What did you think about it, Alonso? The game against Crystal Palace?
Well, I thought that we started off pretty slow. I think it's typical Arsenal. I think away is kind of tough because, the ball. I mean, I don't know. Like, we started slow because you're trying to get everybody involved with the game. I think that we're still trying to learn Arteta's way of kind of playing. I think that the lineup was pretty good. I thought that, why change it? Why change a good thing, I thought that the shots weren't there yet. I think we're trying to still pass the ball around, trying to feel Crystal Palace's defense. And I think, we got to a point where, it's always good to start off early. And Aubameyang, that team building goal was pretty good to see. And I think that we started pretty well in the first half. I think that Aubameyang has a way of scoring goals early, which sets the tone. And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. And I think we got to have patience sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
For me, like he was saying, that was this first time in a year we used the same lineup in 2 straight games. So I was very happy. I was very happy about that. And after initial really bad disappointment with that draw, the positives from that game and the progress for me got rid of any of that negativity. So as long as we keep showing progress and positives, I'm not going to really complain that much.
No, absolutely. We've still got the same players as we had over the last 18 months at the moment, and the tunes he's getting out of a lot of these guys who we just written off completely is quite incredible still, I think. What about you, Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, they both said it. Definitely, it was our best lineup that we could put out, so it's always nice to see, like, I just feel like everyone's posting their starting 11 and, like, what they want, and you really couldn't complain about this lineup apart from, maybe some me. I'm not the hugest Xhaka fan, but he keeps shape to an extent, and he sometimes knows how to pass the ball. Yay! But I actually think we didn't start off too slow. I mean, I guess we were slow in like creating chances, but as far as like dominating the game and controlling the game, we did that really well. And I think that's something that we need to improve on. I think on Arteta, we've done a really good job. We gave them like no chances, which under Emery, it would have. I don't even want to get into that, but yeah. So Arteta's doing a really good job at having the opponents create less chances. And what I was actually really impressed with the most was how we played with 10 men. Very composed, very compact. Because over the last few weeks, everyone's came to this determination that we're not fit enough. We're not ready to do this. We're not runners. We don't really have guys that could play 90 minutes, and it's tough. So the fact that we were a guy down, I was like, oh, we're fucked. Like we're gonna get rolled over. But we did a really good job fitness wise. Not there yet, obviously, but still, it's definitely positive with 10 men to do that. So.
Andrew, are you going to cover Xhaka later, or can I add something to what Ryan just said?
Well, please go ahead.
Oh, okay. No, Ryan, I'm shocked because I felt like I was the only one that doesn't like Xhaka anymore because he had 4 good games in a row. And I want to say this. I want to say this with respect because quite a few people who I love and respect on social media like Xhaka and rate him. For me, we're always complaining that we can't sell the players that we don't want. And Xhaka, to me, has not apologized yet for what he did. So his resale value is pretty high right now, and I would like to see him go. If he stays, he has my support, but I don't want to hear any complaints about we can't sell the Mustafi, we can't sell Xhaka. His value's high right now, and I say that get rid of him.
Yeah, we could definitely get rid of him if we really want to, but things have came out that Arteta like really likes him, he really respects him, and he wants him. Fine, I could keep hearing these things how he's so good in training, that does not mean anything to me. He's a great leader and a captain. Well, situations say otherwise.
I just want to say real quick, and then I'll shut up for a minute. All right. Yeah. Arteta said everybody has a clean slate, but what if Xhaka pulled that shit while Arteta was manager? I wonder. That's all I want to say. Oh my God! You turn that on again. I'm going to come through the screen.
But Ben, do you think that Xhaka has improved under Arteta a little bit?
Yes, I do. I absolutely.
They all. That doesn't.
Everybody has.
They all did. That doesn't mean anything. And then what you said, like he had 4 good games. I don't know what people are talking. To me, a good game is a good game. A good game's not. Well, he didn't concede a penalty. He didn't get a red card. He didn't fuck up.
He didn't give the ball away that led to a goal.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good. That should not be like the bar for a good game if he doesn't do these things. A good game is a good game.
Or he didn't tug on somebody's shirt.
Can I ask you guys one other question real quick? Because I know this sounds a little crazy, but I don't think we ever replaced Santi when he left. How about throwing Ceballos in there?
Exactly what
next to Torreira. That's all I'm asking. Is that crazy?
I was going to say I've been waiting for you to shut your mouth so I can get a word in edgeways. I was going to say I'm really hopeful that Ceballos can take over from the Xhaka role because he's got everything that Xhaka can do, but more. He's got more skill. He's got the ability to carry the ball and run with the ball, and Xhaka hasn't. So I'm just hopeful that he can come back into the team and really take effect because he's going to take him a few games again, and by that time, half of our fan base will be trying to find out where he lives and because they want to go and kill him because they ain't got no patience, have they? Unfortunately,
I think on a perfect Arsenal squad, Xhaka could maybe be a squad player, but that's it. That's if he apologizes, by the way.
Are you going to lock him in his room, Glenn?
I'm sorry. It's been so long since I've talked with people that agree with me. It got to the point on Twitter where I don't even say Xhaka's name. I get all Harry Potter and say the man whose name you shall not say. It's just ridiculous.
Well, that could be loads of people with Arsenal, isn't it? Really, like Emery's the worst. But, no, I've never been a fan of Xhaka. Anyone that's listened to any of my podcasts knows that, but.
I just don't get
credit where credit's due. He's been massively improved because It's the Arteta effect, but he's still not right for Arsenal. But at the moment, he's doing a good job. But I just sincerely hope that Ceballos can do that, come back into the team and play alongside Torreira, because I think that'd be. I think that it's an Arteta player.
I don't know how I feel about Ceballos defensively, though. I don't know if he could really. I'm not saying Xhaka's great defensively. He's not, but Xhaka does have this. He kind of lets Torreira do his thing, and Xhaka kind of pushes back and kind of just. I think it was. I don't know. It was Crystal Palace the game before that. He almost played as like a third center back, which like helped in the fact that like he was a body. He didn't really need to really do anything, which is good, I guess. You don't really want him to do anything, but I don't know if Ceballos can really do that. I think Ceballos can. I've seen him kind of get caught like going forward, so that worries me. Honestly, I think our midfield is not good. So I think we need to work with like a midfield 3 for now and just kind of like work it out. Like maybe Guendouzi on one side, Ceballos on another. Although Guendouzi's not in my favorites not one of my favorites right now. But I just think based on January, we're not really going to get anyone of like importance in. I think we need to like try to go for like a midfield 3 and kind of just solidify that midfield, because we're having trouble on both sides of the ball. We're having trouble defensively. We're getting better, don't get me wrong, but we're having trouble defensively as we always have. But like considering how much firepower we have in Lacazette, Aubameyang, Ozil, Pepe, we're having trouble scoring goals. There's just no, and you can blame the defense, you can blame the offense. Honestly, I blame the midfield. I think the midfield just connects the two, and I think having problems on both sides of the ball, I just think we need to do a better job with that midfield.
Well, I would be really reluctant. Sorry, Lonzo. I was just going to say I would be really reluctant to change the formation at the moment because of the way it's working. And I think that Ceballos is actually very underrated with regards to his pressing and his defensive capabilities. I think.
Agree.
But I do want to see more of him. I do want to see him play with Torreira, but
he's absolutely not like a central defensive midfielder, but we don't need him for that, and we don't need Xhaka for that in this current setup. And the way he's been playing, he's been sort of covering the left flank when Kolasinac just goes off for his lunch every so often up and down the wing. He just sort of slots in and covers the left side of that midfield, and playing like it's almost like a false 3, if you like. But we don't need him for that. We need someone who can take the ball from the defence and carry the ball forward. Torreira is there to be the CDM. And Xhaka is really there just to help. Xhaka currently is just there to help him out and supposedly sort of progress the ball, but he can't do that. And everyone goes on and on and on and on about his ability to pass the ball. But I'm sorry, but if you're playing in fucking Premier League, you should be able to pass the ball.
Any even amateur soccer, exactly. Passing the ball is like the first thing you learn.
You can't fall on your knees and start worshipping someone just for chipping the ball 25 yards in front of someone else.
I see Alonso's point about Xhaka improving under Emery, and and I don't want to pile on Guendouzi because I see the potential there. But did you hear that stat? He's our most dribbled passed player on the team. I couldn't believe that when I heard it. But he needs seasoning. So I see your point, Alonso, about maybe not getting rid of Xhaka, if that's what you were saying.
Well, I'm saying that right now, I think he's the only guy that we have that could be our best. I don't know. I shouldn't say best, but our only option at CDM right now. And Torreira, I think is going to be a good option. But right now, as we're playing, it's our best 11 we have. I mean, if you think about it, and Guendouzi pisses me off sometimes because he dribbles too much and he gets caught sometimes, and that's what worries me. Is that Ryan, I think you talk about connecting midfield to our back 4, and we get in trouble sometimes because he over dribbles sometimes, and then he dives, and it's like, come on, man.
I use stronger language than that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, I don't think Guendouzi can defend, and I think it was, and I totally agree. I think it was Gunner blog, James Nicholas on the Arse blog, said that he's the worst header of a ball he's ever seen, and I think I agree with him. I don't know whether he was on the edge of our box, and I can't remember what game it was now. It's all merged into one over Christmas, but he literally just headed it like I don't know, like a 6-year-old schoolgirl, just sort of worried about getting her hair dirty. And I don't know, he worries me a lot, Guendouzi. I really, really like the kid, and I think that next season he Under Arteta, hopefully he will improve dramatically.
Do you guys remember the guy from
Yeah, time will
PSG
tell.
that we were supposed to
He's still
get?
young.
We got Ganduzi instead. Who was the name of that kid that we got from that we were supposed to get from PSG, but we didn't get him. We got Ganduzi instead. What was his name?
Christian. I can't pronounce his last name.
Oh.
Ngannou or whatever. I know.
Yeah,
right?
he had hair just like Ganduzi, right?
I think we were looking at him.
I'm not sure. Man.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. So, are they the same player? I'm just curious.
No, I think he's a winger. Christian's a winger. It's like
Dan the man has said it's Yassine Adli. Is that right? Is that ringing any bells with anyone?
Stan the man, yeah, from Vancouver.
No, he said that the player we might be.
Oh, I don't know. I know we were close to signing that Christian Ngannou guy, and he ended up, I think, going to, or maybe he went to PSG, or he's actually pretty good, but he's like a young, like 19-year-old. But
he stayed at PSG.
It feels like we're going to do something in January. We're loaning out players like Halloween candy on Halloween. We got to do something.
Yeah, with Chambers out, we have to get some kind of loan in or something, which I think we're going to do. We're going to get a loan, which I don't really want, but we really don't have much options. So,
well, I don't know. Let's move on to some of these. I'm going to go through some of the comments first. Tony Turner, I think he's talking about Ceballos, saying he's just ready to see. No. Talking about the whole team. I'm just ready to see us play for a full 90 minutes. Yeah, exactly. That I think that's definitely coming, though, Tony. Personally, I really, really do, and I think a lot of it's down to the fitness of the players, and obviously the mentality has been changed slowly. I think we've seen improvements every game. Personally, I think I think probably the most pleasing game for me was probably one of the worst to watch, which was the Leeds game. And that was purely because of the turnaround, because there's no way on earth we would have won that game under Emery. No way. Not a chance in hell. And the mentality shown and the character shown clearly by Arteta at half-time, he earned his money, which is, I've said 100 times, that is where managers really do earn their money, when we're struggling at half-time. The ability to turn the team round in the second half means an awful lot, and we haven't had that for so long, and that really, really pleased me with regards to that.
What pleased me was the turnaround, because Arteta screamed at them like a drill sergeant at halftime.
That's what they
responded, and that's what they needed, right?
That's what made me. Yeah,
we need it on the field too, but who the fuck's gonna do that?
Yeah, I think David Luiz has been showing a lot more of that, which, you know, that's been good. He's very, very vocal on the pitch, which I've said that all season, to be perfectly honest. Sorry,
I have a question for you guys. Do you think that since Emery's been on, they respect him more because he was a former Arsenal player, or do you think that Emery just lost locker room respect because of the way he treated the players?
I think he lost a lot of respect because he's a shit coach, personally.
Yeah, I just don't understand why we thought he'd be a good hire to begin with. Like, even look at his resume at PSG. Like, I could coach PSG and win the French league. It's a joke. But besides the point, what happened? They got Neymar, and then all of a sudden things were going on. Like, what's going on here? And then he had like a power struggle with Neymar to get control of the team. Neymar won. So what does he do? We sign him. We get him, and we're like, oh yeah, here's Ozil, who's someone who's like a big figure, you know, big sponsor. He just got his, like, I think at the time when we hired Emery, he just started his own esports team. Like, he's making all these moves. You know, he's got to have some kind of ego on him. He's a World Cup winner. He's used to be my favorite player, but we won't get into that. But he's not willing. He's not afraid to, you know, whip his German dick around. And on top of that, when you bring Emery in, he's going to see Ozil like a Neymar. And it's just like, well, what do you expect? Like, it's like watching a cartoon. Like, it's the same, like, what was it? Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner. Like, literally the same thing over and over again. Like, they don't learn, you know, you think they would know better. But
Emery's gone, so I don't want to grave dance too much, but I said for a long time before he was fired, this is a man that can manage a team with a bunch of no names. You put some big personalities in there, he's not going to do the job. That's what I was saying months before he was fired.
Yeah, to me, he's like the guy that tries to take over, like a substitution that tries to come in class. He sees the cool kids and he tries to like, oh, hey, what you guys don't get homework.
I like that analogy better.
He tries to like get in with them, and then when he realizes like, oh, like fuck, I'm their teacher, and then it's just chaos.
And they all start throwing shit at him from the back of the class.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, you guys are so funny throwing those spitballs in the back of my neck. You guys are hilarious.
Andrew, you look like a spitball kind of guy, Andrew. You look like a back of the class spitball kind of guy.
2 pence piece, perfect curve, right in the between the eyes.
All right.
But I've just sat on another drawing pin. Oh, it's so funny. I don't know who's going on about all that. Tony Turner said that he wants to see Torreira as a low DM, and then Ceballos and Guendouzi doing box-to-box work.
Interesting.
I don't know. Possibly. I'm worried about Guendouzi at the moment. Really worried.
Yeah, but I don't mind Torreira sitting back and kind of playing like almost like in front of the two center backs. But then the two guys that play in front of Torreira need to be fit and move and control the ball and carry the ball into the opponent's third half, which we don't have. We really don't have any. If you like look at our team, we really don't have any like.
We haven't had it since
all out ball. Well, I mean, you can argue like we had it like in Theo, we had it in Iwobi, maybe not in the box, but we need ball carriers. We do not have ball carriers. Ceballos, I think, could maybe, but I haven't seen enough of him, so I can't say for sure.
He can be, and I think Guendouzi can be as well with proper coaching. And
yeah,
go on, Alonso, go and make your point. Sorry, you trying to say something. I'll come in with another idea that I mentioned a few months ago, to be perfectly honest, in a moment as well. What are you going to say, Alonso?
So would that be in diamond formation with then Torreira and Ceballos, Guendouzi and Ozil, or would that be just disaster as well?
I mean, you could. I think they tried against Liverpool and we got roasted, but that was also like the personnel I don't think was right for that.
No, I think he's on about a 4-1-3-2.
Or you could do like Torreira. Then you have Guendouzi, Ceballos on the sides, and then like Ozil on the top of the diamond. Right. But like again, in my opinion, for a diamond to like truly work, you need people who can be fit for 90 minutes and can run their tail off. We don't have that. We need guys that our fitness needs to improve. It's just, and that again, that's going to come over time with coaching, and it's already gotten better. I legit do not know what Emery did with this team when they had training sessions, but like you could tell in the couple weeks that Arteta's been with the team. The fitness is getting better and better every week. So
just the fact that we were down to 10 men and they still hustled enough to get some of the best chances of the game with 10 men versus 11.
Yeah.
I think that their training sessions must have been sitting down, drinking cheap wine and smoking weed. That's where they were playing.
Yeah, you can put wine and weed and smoke the weed you want, but you can't have juice. He didn't want his players to have juice, though.
Well, yeah, exactly. If we had a bit of whiz or something, that might have been a bit better. Might make them run around a bit quicker. Yeah. But let's have a look at this other. We still came out flat against Palace in the second half. I don't think that one thing that is true, Tony. I completely agree. But one thing we've got to take into account is that we can't expect to be dominant for 90 minutes against every team in the Premier League, because they're going to, especially when we're away from home, they're still a Premier League team and they're still going to have a go. So we've got to be able to weather that storm. And I still think we weathered the second half really well. And I think they only had 6 shots in the whole game. And I don't know how much. I don't think there was any more than 1 or 2 on target, including, well, the goal wasn't on target, was it? Let's face it, that they scored. So, yes, we did play worse in the second half. But I think that considering we're away, considering they're our bogey team, I still think we did really well. And massive praise has got to be given to Maitland-Niles for the way he handled Zaha. I think he played fantastically.
Yeah. I think he's been the best player the most improved under Arteta. I do.
Me too.
And you know what? As far as the second half against Crystal Palace, the Disney Channel, when my kids were little, there used to be this thing. It's how you look at it, and you see things from all different perspectives. Yeah, we in the second half we did not play as well. But I don't know about you guys, but I have never seen such parity in the Premier League as there is right now. There's no easy games, and if you look at it just a little bit differently, that second half we went down to 10 men and had 2 chances to go ahead. So you know what I'm saying?
We lost Torreira as well.
Yeah, we lost Torreira.
Yeah,
too.
that was bad. But again, I mean, I know you guys don't watch Liverpool that much. I don't really watch them much, but like the times I do watch them, they're a great team. But I'm not gonna like try to talk shit or that. But if you ever watch them play, they don't dominate 90 minutes of the game. They never do. But when they do dominate, they're gonna fucking punish you and they're gonna score a goal. You bet your ass they're gonna do it. And then when they're not dominating, they kind of sit back and kind of, you know, which I think is someone we need. We need like a Virgil van Dijk that could command the team, yell at the team, and get the team moving. They play, I don't say they play compact, but they sort of just maintain status quo. Just, okay, cool, we're not dominating, that's fine. Just keep the other team under control. Make sure there's no crazy counterattacks. Make sure you neutralize their biggest threat and just kind of build from there. And then they'll build, and next thing you know, they're dominating for like 5-10 minutes. Oh, they already scored a second goal. So I think Arteta's kind of putting us down that road in the fact that we're conceding way less chances, which is amazing just based on like, I don't know. I forgot the number, but I remember, I think it was like 26 shots we conceded against like Watford early in the season. I remember
31.
30. Yeah. Okay.
31.
So it's nice to see that we're in that respect to Liverpool, just kind of like controlling the game in certain aspects and sort of, letting them not get as many chances, not get as many shots. I mean, now I think it's almost like it's time for our offense. I mean, a little tough with our star goal scorer not playing for 3 games, but we need like our offense kind of turn it up a bit, which I think again starts the midfield. But
I heard Torreira and Kolasinac are questionable for this weekend.
I heard Torreira's I don't think Torreira's playing at all.
Shit.
Neither is Kolasinac. I don't think Kolasinac is playing either.
Yeah, Kolasinac got hurt in training yesterday.
Damn.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah.
Tony Turner again. That he's stolen my thunder, because this is exactly what I was going to say, Tony. Because quite a few months ago, when at the beginning of the season, I thought that it would be a really good idea, because Ozil was nowhere to be seen at that point. He was missing in action. I think they got the SAS out to look for him and everything. But I thought that it'd be a great idea to have Pepe in behind the front two in Aubameyang and Lac'o'threat, because I think it suits him perfect. And just let him roam and just let him free. And let's just let him do his stuff. Just get the ball to him and let him do his stuff. And Tony Turner said something similar, saying that if we were going to do a diamond formation, then Pepe would have to be at the tip of the diamond, and that's basically like in a number 10 position. But I think in an ideal world, we lose Ozil and put Pepe in there and just give him a run of games in that position, because I think it'd be fantastic. Him picking up the ball and threading it through. His through balls, I think, could be worked on. They need to be worked on. But I think with the rest of his ability in carrying the ball and scaring the defence to shit, I think that really could work. What do you think about that?
I would miss Pepe. I'd rather have his speed out on the wing.
I
think that Ceballos could, although he prefers number 8, he could play number 10 also. I would have Ceballos before taking Pepe off the wing. Just my personal opinion.
I don't think Ceballos can play a 10, but I think I'd rather see. I think Pepe's speed on the touchline on the wing. It's something that we desperately have been needing. And like, I wouldn't say Iwobi's the fastest guy there, but when we had Iwobi, that was he couldn't do anything when he got in the box. But getting to that point, his skill on the ball, his dribbling, his movement was something that like we loved and we enjoyed and we needed. And I think Pepe's kind of has that now with that pace, with that speed. And I think his finishing is great. But it's tough when you have I think Pepe is going to be a really, really good player, and it's tough when you have such a good player that you want to put him. You want to just clone him and put him everywhere. But I just want
him to be free. I just want him to be able to do what he wants to do.
Yeah,
I just want to get loaded. I just want to have a good time. No, primal scream. I don't really know primal scream. But no, seriously, I don't want him to just stay behind the front two. I want him to just have the freedom of the park in that area of the pitch, and I don't know. I just think I just like to see it, but because Stan the Man has said Pepe was tried in the role and up front for his former club, but it didn't work. But like I say, I don't want him to be stuck in one position. I want him to just have the freedom to roam from left to right and or central. But yeah, I thought it might be quite an interesting way to do it. I'm going to move on now to a few of the rumours. The first one I've got to touch on. I think it's just weird all round, but there seems to be a bit to it. But it's the John Stones link.
Why do you think that's weird? He literally. No. I'm gonna say this.
It's like the perfect Arsenal signing
at the moment. He's a perfect Arsenal signing.
No. I think it's great from our point of view. I think it's great from our point of view.
See, I don't.
But Man City. Why would Man City get rid of him at the moment?
He's not starting for them. He's got like 3 people ahead of him. That's why.
I know, but if they got rid of him, they would literally have they would have less decent centre back. They would have no one. I just don't see how they would possibly part with him at the moment. I really don't.
You think he's that good? I don't think he's good. You think he's that good?
No, I think he's a good player, but he's not brilliant. No, but I think he's someone that, considering we've lost Chambers, considering we've loaned out Mavropanos, considering we've got hardly anyone else I think someone like him who's basically would have to try his arse off because of the Euros in the summer on home soil. I think he will be a good option because he's a good ball playing centre back. He makes mistakes, but that's because of the way he plays football. He's very, very similar to the way David Luiz plays football.
So you're saying he's another Mustafi? He's a ball player.
No. He's another David Luiz.
Now we're throwing insults around.
He's another David Luiz.
Mustafi is a ball playing center back who makes mistakes. I mean, it's like I think John Stones is just younger.
He's far better than Mustafi.
For the last couple of years, I thought that Stones is overrated. But for the right price, I wouldn't mind him, considering we have no depth back there.
No, it was talked about as a loan. That's why I think it'll be no-brainer for us. On a loan basis, yeah, no problem at all.
But I also that Mavropanos isn't going to work out at Arsenal. I think he was hurt too much. So I think that having Stones there is not a bad decision. I think that if it's on a loan, I think you do it. So I think that, like I said, I think that losing Chambers for a long time hurts because I think that he was on his way.
I just think that it'd be a really weird thing for City to do, considering they lost company in the summer. Then they lost. God, what's his name's gone out completely out of my head for a season, pretty much a season-ending injury. Yes, Laporte. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Laporte. Yeah. So I mean, I just think it'd be odd for them, but Stones equals Mustafi Mark II. No, he doesn't. He's better than Mustafi.
I think he makes worse mistakes than Mustafi. Have you ever seen him play for the England team or even play for?
Yes, absolutely. He's lost his way.
Shocking mistakes.
Is he the first choice center back or second?
No, he's got 3 people ahead of him in City.
Okay.
Last season, he was pretty much ever present alongside Otamendi.
I mean, for England.
Or Laporte.
For England.
For City.
No, but he's saying is Stones the starter for England? Who is it? It's Maguire and Maguire and Stones?
He's been at normally, yes. At the World Cup, it was.
Okay.
But he went through an injury, and it's been lately. It's been Maguire and Keane from Everton. Okay. But normally he is. Yeah, it's normally Maguire and Stones. And like I said, the only thing it would make me think it would be a good idea would be if it was a loan, and B, because like I said, he will do everything he can to play his way back into the England team for the Euros, and I think he'll just be playing out of his skin. But there you go.
Well, Arteta said today there is no truth to it at all. And then when he was asked about Kessie, he said there's no truth to it at all for now. So, go ahead, dissect that if you want.
That's. I mean, I don't know whether there's any more to it. I don't believe it anyway, to be perfectly honest. I just thought it was a weird rumor to come out more than anything.
Well, Kessie's a strong guy. He's good on defense. He's box to box, but again, where we want Arsenal to be, he's not going to be a starter for us.
Yeah,
I don't know enough about him. And there's another one I've seen, which
And
was
easy, buddy. Easy, buddy. He's saying he wants to take Boateng over Stones. That's 10 years ago. Oh yeah, that's fine.
even as cover for Chambers, though. Can you do much worse than that for 6 months, Boateng?
Boateng might.
I'm not telling you.
We'll be lucky if Boateng plays a week for us. Boateng is very injury prone. As someone who's like, I listen. I talk about this a lot, but I grew up watching German soccer. I love German soccer. I support the German national team even over the American national team. So Boateng was great back in the day. Now he's very injury prone. He's lost a lot of speed. He's physical if he can be, but he's prone to making a lot of mistakes. Again, it's a tip. That's what I think he's our plan B. If we don't get the loan we want, I think we're going to end up with another plan B in Boateng. We did the plan B with Lucas Perez when we needed a striker really bad. Look how that turned out. And then our next plan B was David Luiz, who, people hate him, people love him. I still don't know how I feel about him yet. I kind of go through he's like a roller coaster with me. But we need to get our guy.
As far as Boateng goes, Turkish from AFTV said the greatest line: "We're not a retirement home. He's 31 years old. AFC is not a retirement home. We can do better than that."
That's what we're becoming. Liechtensteiner.
Oh my God! Don't say that name. Talk about the name that should never be said. Oh, that guy.
Well, that leads me absolutely perfectly on to the next one, and that's Dries Mertens, who's 32, and the links don't stop to him either.
Guys, I'm sorry to interrupt.
I don't want to do it.
Guys, I'll be back in 2 minutes. My wife broke her ankle and her foot, and I have to help her out. I'll be right back. It's not like yesterday where I had to give her a shower.
Put yourself on mute.
Her family is so blessed with hair. It was like giving a shower to a Wookiee. So I'll be right back. Okay.
Put yourself on mute just in case.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, I don't want to know.
So yeah, Dries Mertens doesn't excite me either. I know that he's had a good career over at Napoli, but I just think we that is not someone we need to move for either. And
how old is he?
32.
It's also tough too. Like, how do I say this? Leagues don't translate, so like you can't say, "Oh, he's having a great year, great season, a great career in Italy." Great, that's wonderful. Italy, it's not a joke. It's a professional league, and I respect it and I watch it. But it doesn't translate to the Premier League. Same with the French league. Like, look at Lukaku. He couldn't do. I mean, he was great in Everton, fine. He couldn't do nothing in Man U. Blame the system, blame whatever you want. He became the small fish in the big pond, and he choked. Now he's in Inter Milan, which is a similar situation. And look at him. I think he just scored 2 goals last night. I mean, he's a great player for Inter Milan, and they're, I think, like second place, or they're competing with Juventus.
Hey Ryan, how has Sanchez done in Milan?
He hasn't. He played, I think, like 2 games, and he got hurt. He's like hurt, I think, now.
Wow.
But he when he played, he was good. When he played for them, I think he scored in his debut game. But since then, I think he's still hurt. I don't know when he's coming back, but.
No. Well, apparently,
waste of wages. That's Arsenal all day. We love
£200 a week. Apparently, it will cost for Mertens as well. I just don't see the logic at all in that. And first, I mean, with regards to the front players, I think we've covered there. Unless Lacazette or Aubameyang goes, I don't see the point in bringing in anyone as a striker or a wide forward. A attacking midfielder, yes, of course, we definitely need one of those. But I don't want anyone to get in the way of Martinelli. If anyone gets in the way of Martinelli, I'll go and fucking punch the face in, because I love that kid.
Looking at strikers is ridiculous. We need midfield help and defensive help. And looking at strikers is like your house is on fire and you say, "Oh, I got to mow the lawn." You know what I mean? We don't need strikers right now.
Yeah,
I know.
I mean, I think I almost want our focus to be on the midfield. Like,
I agree.
This season we only have 1 goal from the midfield, and that was Torreira at Anfield, which it didn't mean anything, so it was whatever. We have 0, so it's 1 goal from the midfield. We need more creative midfielders. We need it's just frustrating because like you're right, we don't need strikers, but like, and everyone says like, oh, offensively we're going to be so good this year. Like before the season, oh, it's the defense we got to worry about, but we're not really scoring goals.
Well, I'm glad you at least have an open mind about Ceballos playing in midfield because I think that he could solve a lot of the link-up problems we're having.
Yeah,
think so?
he could be a Sandy type player, but he's only time.
I can't remember where I saw it earlier on today, but I saw somewhere that Arteta wants to make his big signing in the summer, James Maddison. I mean,
I've had this debate with a few people. I'd actually rather have Jack Grealish. I think we can get him for cheaper, and I think he's more of a leader. I think we need a leader, and we need like a proper asshole that gets in teams' faces. And I think he does that. I don't think Maddison does that. Maddison may be a little more creative, maybe better technical on the ball, but Jack Grealish is going to come. I think Madison's probably 70 to 80 million. Grealish is probably going to be like 30 to 40 million. Like, sign me up.
Yep, and we like a bargain. Alonso, do you agree with that?
I think with Ceballos, I think he has a talent, but he's on loan, so it's like
I'm almost like, why waste your time? Like if he's on, it sounds stupid, but I want guys that are like committed to be here and they're going to be here.
And it'd be nice to have more English-born players at Arsenal like they did it back in the day, where you had, I think Grealish would be good. I think also Madison would be good. But I think with Grealish, I think he's more younger. I think he's more technical on the ball, like you say, Ryan. And so I would like to have seen him in an Arsenal shirt.
He's just a player. He's just a player we've needed for so long.
No, I agree
in his leadership and everything.
I wasn't saying we have Ceballos, we don't need him. I was just saying I'm glad you're open to the idea of Ceballos.
Well, Grealish would probably play the 10 anyway, and then if we still had Ceballos, I think Ceballos would be like an 8.
But we haven't had anyone make up plays since Cazorla, and I think that's where our midfield has suffered getting the ball to our
that's our biggest. Yeah, that's one of our biggest problems. Yeah.
And Xhaka is not going to do that. And Torreira is going to do his job,
Not talk about Xhaka anymore. Too many people I like.
I cringe when I hear that name sometimes.
Me too.
Like let's look. In college, I used to my drink of choice in college was Gatorade and vodka. So and it was Glacier Freeze Gatorade. So now every time I drink Glacier Freeze, that first sip, I like twinge and I can't help it. It's just like in my head. It's the same thing with Xhaka. I hear Xhaka, I just immediately it's that twinge. I just can't help it.
I hear you. I'm that way with tequila.
That's funny.
I've just put on the screen Todd Cantwell. I really like him as well. I think he is Grealish about 2 years ago, if you're with me. I think he's Grealish about 2 years behind in development. So, yeah, I'd like to have them both, to be perfectly honest. But
isn't Cantwell also an Arsenal supporter?
Is he now?
No, I think you're thinking of. It's been mentioned in the press recently that Grealish is, which is a load of bollocks. He's Villa through and through. And what he said was that it's his favourite ground to play on. At the Emirates, it's his favourite ground. So they're taking 2 and 2 and making 5. But Grealish is the most ardent Villa fan there is.
Cantwell.
No, but Grealish. I think you're thinking of Grealish because that's been in the press recently that he's an Arsenal fan, which is incorrect.
Okay.
Well, he's not good. I mean, they look like they're going down again. Does he want to play in the championship or
I don't want any basement boys on my team. I don't know if you guys saw that tweet from Hoffenheim when they got for anyone who doesn't know, Hoffenheim sold one of their players to Norwich, and they took to Twitter, said, sad to see him go. He's off now to the basement boys. That they called Norwich. They didn't even. I don't know if they tagged Norwich in the tweet. But Hoffenheim called Norwich City the basement boys, which I guess they're not wrong, but it's a little savage for me. I like it.
I think, they've got 3 players that I would like.
Max Aarons, whoo!
Definitely.
That's who it was. That's who it was. Aarons was a gooner.
Weren't we linked with Aarons?
Aarons, yeah.
Yeah. I would love Max Aarons. I really
Who's
would.
the other one? The center back. Didn't he just got hurt? Did he not?
Ben Godfrey. I would want him.
And
I would want Cantwell. I'd be happy to take all those three. And in fact, once again, I can't remember his name, who is the left back for Norwich. My brain is going to mush. His name escaped me, but they've got a very good left back as well. And what I'd like about their fullbacks, Aaron's and the other guy, is the fact that they would be happy to battle for their places and be competition for Tierney and Bellerin. And that's exactly what we need. We don't want to bring in big-time Charlies who want to go straight into the team and then they'll sulk if they don't play. We want competition, and I think that would be ideal.
Cannot agree more. We need. I think that's our biggest thing too. We need competition. We don't really have any depth. Our depth, well, in the beginning of the season, it's still now. Our depth is our youth, and that should never be the case. So we need guys to come in and compete. But it's a little tough because when you have nothing against Ozil, but you have Ozil on $350,000 a week, like, the wages are just insanity. So to bring in these guys to compete, it's tough. We can't pay all these wages.
So if we try to insert a right back in the summertime, and Hector obviously is still there, would Maitland-Niles go back to midfield?
I don't think so. I think so.
Bellerin's gonna have a very tough time getting his spot back when he comes back. Maitland-Niles has been spot on, especially with Arteta. It's gonna be very tough for Bellerin to get back.
That was one of the most impressive things that Arteta's done so far, is make that kid realize, hey, you don't have a spot in midfield, make right back your own. And
you know what though, Glenn? He's actually made. Well, he hasn't made the role for him at all, but his role within the team is perfect for him because it combines midfield and right back.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what they do with Man City, isn't it? Their fullbacks sort of slot into midfield when they've got the possession, and that's absolutely spot on for Maitland-Niles. So if he really seriously knuckles down and learns the role of right back properly, then he could be an excellent right back, I'd say.
Andrew,
yeah, go on.
Do you think that Maitland-Niles could be England's right back?
I don't think he'll get in ahead of Trent Alexander-Arnold, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And we're actually blessed with right backs at the moment, and fullbacks as well with Chilwell on the other side. We've got a few options, and I don't think so now. He's missed the boat, but I think he could be an excellent right back, in that position and sort of pulling into midfield because he's not technically good enough. I've never thought he's technically good enough to be a midfield player at Arsenal. He hasn't got that technical ability, but he's got all the attributes needed to be an excellent right back or wing back. And if he knuckles down and accepts that, then he could be very, very good. He's showing that now already. So yeah, I think especially next season, the season after, I say we could probably. I mentioned this on other podcasts. If it does work out the way and he carries on with this trajectory in the summer, I'd be quite happy to take a big offer for Bellerin. I really would.
I mean, again, like we said, if he doesn't get back into the team or he struggles for minutes, who wants him? I mean, people are going to want him, but we're not going to get a big offer for him. I don't think. Coming back from an ACL injury, he's having trouble with it. It's not even like he's having problems with it to begin with. So I don't know. That's tough.
Who would be his backup? But you would sell Bellerin?
Well, no, you just have to get another. No, I mean, I hope. I mean, in my ideal world, it would be Max Aarons.
Oh, okay.
Like you mentioned earlier, but Stan the Man. No, it's not Sam Byron. No,
I think it's is it Jamal Lewis? You're thinking of?
Yes. Thank you. Yes, that's the one.
Okay.
Jamal Lewis.
Yeah,
anyway, the purpose of this particular show was that the best and most interactive person on the comment section gets a chance to join us on the panel.
Hi, Stan.
No, I've invited Max, your mate Max from the Arse Brothers. So I've sent you the link, Max, on Twitter.
Oh no!
What's going on? What's the backstory here?
Big props to Tony Turner. He was actually the choice because he's been excellent, but unfortunately he's got a bit of a cold, so he's not going to take up the offer today. So, Max, I'll send you a link. So, I look forward to seeing you soon. Mounier is Tony Turner's choice coming in to see what AMN does. Sell Bella in the summer sign, Aaron. I don't know about that Mounier guy. Well, to be perfectly honest, I haven't seen enough of him. I've seen him play probably 2-3 times in a full match, so I can't really comment on what I think about him. And the other guy is Tony, who you've mentioned, is one I've written down, that Levan Kazawa from PSG. Before we went live, I mentioned him, and apparently he's a free agent in the summer, but there's a potential we could get him in January, towards the end of January. And again, I don't know enough about this guy to comment, to be perfectly honest. I don't know if anyone else knows anything about this guy. Kazawa from PSG. I never heard of it.
With someone else. I don't know.
I don't like it when I haven't heard of a player full stop. I don't think that's a very good sign. If they haven't really done enough to hit the headlines in the papers or the.
Last time I said that, we signed Martinelli. So I hope I'm wrong again. I hope.
Very true, very true. But Martinelli didn't come from PSG, did he? So
Martinelli was the wrongest I've ever been. When we got him, I was like, "What? Player of the countryside? Are you effing kidding me?" And I went full social media with that. So, I am wrong. Love the kid.
Yeah, he's going to be very relied upon in the next 3 games. I'm excited. I want to see him really play in a Premier League game, so hopefully he plays Saturday.
Max, I will just look at his I can't think why, Max, but your Twitter has been suspended.
No idea.
Oh,
think of it.
I mean, why? I mean, you're white to the white. You've got a plum in your mouth.
Hey, Ryan, didn't Martinelli score
on WhatsApp, Max?
Didn't Martinelli score a goal in the Premier League?
I think he has one.
I think he has one too.
Yeah. Why do I feel like he scored in his debut, right?
Yeah.
My mind's like fuzzy.
Are you guys going overboard with this this gentleman in Africa that supposedly wants to buy Arsenal?
Oh, yeah.
It makes me crazy that so many of my fellow supporters are just like, yes, get him. Kroenke sucks. Can we vet the guy first? I mean, what's that old saying? The devil you know versus the devil you don't. All I'm saying is, why is everybody not everybody? Why is so many people so quick to jump onto this guy we barely know?
Because he's not Stan Kroenke. I mean, people were like this with Usmanov. When Usmanov had a bunch of shares, people were like, because there was talk that Usmanov was gonna buy Kroenke shares and take over. And everyone's like, oh, let's do it, even though Usmanov doesn't have the nicest past either. But again, we don't want Stan Kroenke, so it is what it is. But it ended up going the other way. Usmanov left.
Geez, guys, if we don't have a guy that's fully vetted, what's that guy at Cardiff? Tan, the owner that they all hate, or that dickhead in Newcastle that everyone hates? What's his name?
Ashley?
Let's calm down a little bit. Let the media, let the internet vet this guy a little bit.
I mean, we'll see.
Yeah. Okay. So you're ready to sign him up.
Okay. Just have a chat for just a couple of minutes. I'm just going to get this link sent to Matt on WhatsApp. So I'm just going to mute myself just for one moment.
No, frozen.
You're going to leave.
What other guys have we been linked to in the January window? I'd be interested to see if you've seen anyone that I haven't, because like I said, I think it's been pretty quiet.
I'll follow the lead of these guys because I don't look at that stuff because I learned it just makes me friggin' crazy to look at transfer story.
The guy from Barcelona, Udamendi, is that his name?
We're linked to them. I feel like we're linked to them every transfer window.
And he's always hurt. He's always hurt.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we need to get a loan. I hate loans. I think they're kind of pointless, but for a big club like us. But we need a loan of a center back because we're not going to buy one. We don't have the funds. I think we're going to wait till the summer to really invest in somebody. But I don't really know who's out there that we could really loan. I mean, I guess John Stone's fine. But like again, I think again, typical Arsenal. Like I said before, if we don't get who we want right away, we're going to end up with both.
Do you guys rate Ake? I mean, Chelsea was it?
I
Chelsea?
love him.
I love him too.
I liked him when he was on Watford.
And they don't want to do his buyback of 40 million. So it's like lane cleared. You know what I mean? Can we get this guy?
Where was he at before Bournemouth?
Well, he was Chelsea, and then he got they sent him on loan to Watford. Then I don't know if he went back and played for Chelsea, but I know he went back, and then they sent him again to Bournemouth.
Yeah, okay.
He was originally a fullback, and then they converted him to a center back, which is interesting because he has the stature and the speed of a fullback. So so if we needed him, we could use him as a fullback. But I love him. He could head the ball, he could score goals, and he's a no-nonsense defender, and he's very smart with the ball.
I completely agree. I rate him, and I was excited when I heard that Chelsea was not going to exercise that buyback today. I was like, yes!
But again, we're Arsenal, so we're not going to sign him. You're not going to get him.
Sucks. We're one of the biggest clubs in the world.
Yeah, I know.
Is that definite then? That's come out and they've said they're not going to
yeah, that's definite. I read that story a couple hours ago before we came on.
That's good. I've been a huge Ake guy. I actually forgot about him, but yeah, I would love to see him in
the problem with that is that they had the buyback get set at 40 million. And anyone else, they could just set the price themselves and just ask whatever they want. And that it depends what they would ask, really. It could be, if you're talking about 60, 70 million quid because of Maguire going for 80, then this is the problem with the transfer market, because it's just some spastic pay a massive amount of money for player A. Yeah, he went for that money, so we're going to ask that for our guy.
Well, how about you talk about problems with the transfer market? Like, why don't we see more players swapping? We have some young kids. Throw a young kid there, a little bit of cash, give us Ake. I mean, it's not a sin to swap players. We do it in America all the time.
I was going to say, that's very American of you to swap players. Just trade players around on a whim. No, yeah.
What's weirder? Swapping players or buying them like meat? I don't see a difference.
I'm actually with you, but especially a swap deal in January is really, really unlikely because of how long it takes clubs to do it. Arsenal, especially.
We did it with Sanchez.
Well, yeah, it's not very often though, is it? We take weeks and weeks and weeks just to go for a shit.
It works for me in FIFA 20.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
The only thing
on the screen there, that's the guy I have actually seen us linked with. I know nothing about it, from Atletico Paranaense in Brazil. Again, 22 years old. Never heard of him, obviously. But the concern for me there is that if he's really good, and he might be, these guys do exist, and we did dig out Martinelli from Brazil, but my whole point is, when they leave Brazil and come to Europe, it is normally around the age of 17, 18, they get plucked straight away. Why is this guy, I wonder, lasted in Brazil until he's 22, which is very unusual. He's not old by any stretch of the imagination. But you with me? Yeah, you know what I mean, though? They do get plucked out of Brazil very young, don't they? So that just worries me. It's a bit of a concern because they're normally sold straight away, because that's the way they make their money over in Brazil.
Hey, Andrew, how old was Roberto and Adu when they came here to Arsenal?
Gilberto. Oh, Gilberto.
Yeah.
Good question.
I was going to say a random number. I have no idea.
We didn't buy him directly from Brazil, though, did we? I don't think. He was already in Europe.
Was he Milan?
Where was he? I don't know. If someone Google it, if he's watching, maybe they'll be able to tell us in the comments section. But I'm pretty sure we bought him from
Atletico Mineiro.
Mineiro, yeah. Oh, no, he was from Brazil then.
Yeah,
he was direct from Brazil.
How old was he? Do you think?
26.
Oh, wow.
I was going to say 24.
25, 26. I didn't do the exact math, but pretty much.
That's a great. Well, so you've completely shut me down. I think I'll just go then. Now, Alonso. Thanks for having me on.
I love the way these young guys multitask. I can barely keep my focus on the screen. My wife texts me, and I'm like, this guy's looking up stats, adding up numbers. Fuck.
I just think. I mean, I do. I'm obviously generalised, but I do think my point stands. It's very unusual that a good, talented youngster from Brazil stays there for so long. But I might be completely wrong, and you've made an incredible point there, Alonso. So let's fingers crossed. But apparently, it's 25 million we've been quoted for this guy, and I heard the Patreon podcast for Arsenal Vision, and Clive was talking about the guy. I'm sure it was that podcast, and he said that he's a very good ball carrier, of the type that we like. When he was talking about him and his style of play, only going on what's on YouTube, he sounds like a sort of a Grealish, Maddison type of player. So
you're not going to get me to put down any Brazilian player after I was so snarky about Martinelli. So,
you said it was kicking melons around the street.
That's Andrew who said that. Top left, not me.
Oh man. Yeah. What do you guys? I want to ask you guys. What do you guys think of the whole thing with Lamar for Lacazette swap?
I've heard that.
Oh no! I don't want that Lamar at all. No.
See, I wanted to bring this up because my immediate reaction, I thought of you, Andrew, because what I would do is I would swap Lacazette for Thomas Partey.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
I would love that. Like if you got don't give me that Thomas, give me the other Thomas over there. I'm like, yeah, I would do that.
Yeah. Oh no, he's my perfect purchase in midfield. 100%.
If I had to pick one person to purchase, I would agree. I'd probably pick
me. That'd be my first choice above anyone else.
For a few years, I've been watching him. I just love the way he plays. He's like the perfect defensive midfielder we need for the team.
Yeah. He's a defensive midfielder, but he can also carry it box to box easily. He's a proper athlete. He wouldn't stop running all game, and I mean his ball carrying ability for a defensive midfielder is just perfect. And I would have him over anyone. My first purchase, 100%, would be him before anyone else. So, if you could buy, say in an absolutely perfect world and be completely and utterly realistic, my three purchases would be him. The more I see of this Upamecano, the more I want him in our defence as well, alongside Saliba. That would be incredible. I think him and Saliba potentially could be France's defensive partnership for about the next decade. And they complement each other really well from what I've seen and heard. And then my third one will probably be Grealish. I think
that's exactly my three. That's how I had to.
We would have an incredibly strong spine then.
I wish I could, be contradictory and start a whole debate, but I completely agree with you guys.
We need a tough English captain, and I think Grealish is what we wanted Jack Wilshere to be.
Yeah.
Minus all the injuries, it sucks the way it ended, but I think Wilshere could have been what Grealish is going to be, and I'm excited because I think it could bring some kind of, I won't say hope, but. So I think people really invested into the Wilshere thing, and they were sad to see him go, even though he had to. Like there was no, it was just almost like you have like that dog. It's very sick, and you're caring for it, but you just know do
you know?
It's almost more painful for them to be still on the team.
I listened to a podcast about Jack Wilshere the other day, and I was so disappointed after listening to it because the way he was. He's been treated, and you'll have to listen to it. I'm not going to go into the whole thing. In fact, I can't remember which one it was. I'm going to find out the link, and I'm going to actually put it in the description of the podcast because underneath here, because everyone should listen to that because it's really eye opening. And he basically cut a hell of a long story short as well. He had to buy his own medical care because of the mismanagement that he had, which. it's just shocking. It's actually shocking. And I was so gutted when I heard it because he's always one of my favourite players. And when he kept breaking down, I just felt so sad for the guy.
Yeah.
And us, because I think he could seriously have been as good as, potentially, as good as like Paul Gascoigne has been for England. And he's so talented, and I feel gutted about him.
Yeah, the very definition of untapped talent. I loved Wilshere almost as much as I loved Darren Ramsey, and I was sad to see him go. But let's remember, let's remember that Wilshere asked Unai Emery, I want to start. Am I going to start on this team? And he could not give him an answer, and that's why he left. So, let's put that into perspective too. And I love Wilshere. I root for him. Is he hurt now? Is he playing?
He's just about ready to come back.
Oh, okay. Coming back soon.
And he will get binned out of West.
And I'll always root for him as long as they're not playing Arsenal. I love Jack Wilshere, and I'm a fan.
See, that year he came back it was the year that went into Europa League, the first year. And I thought that was a renaissance for him to come back. I think he did very well that year. He was even captain a couple of games. And I thought to myself, this was Jack Wilshere we needed. We needed from him. Because he could have also been England's captain too, I thought.
I think that, I'm going to no one will probably agree with me, but if he was released by West Ham, I would have him back at Arsenal on a pay-as-you-play basis. No problem at all. No problem at all. A pay-as-you-play deal. Don't lose out. I would seriously have him back. I would, because I love the guy. And when you listen to that backstory about the problems he's had going back, these injuries that have been so badly mismanaged, it just makes you. I just feel fucking robbed because we've been robbed of a great player, a homegrown player, and all academy player, and that makes me so angry in loads of ways. So, I mean, I don't think he will get a new contract at West Ham. But I can only see him being released, and I mean, someone's going to have to take a chance on him because he's too
somebody definitely. Good player.
Take a chance on him.
If
he stays healthy, he's quality.
Yeah,
amazing. And he could be. I mean, seriously, he could be exactly what we need in our team for this Grealish role. And a fit, firing Jack Wilshere would complement our team so well at the moment. And do you know another player who would complement our team? I was thinking of a few days ago.
Don't say it.
Oxlade Chamberlain.
Okay. I'm going to say someone else.
Oh no, you lost me there.
Wait, who was it?
In his current situation, the way he's currently playing for Liverpool in that hole, seriously, he'd be amazing for us at the moment as well.
I don't say heartbroken. It's a little dramatic, but I was very upset when we sold him to Liverpool.
Me too.
He was a great, quick, strong, which is what we didn't have at the time. He had a strong winger that could take that ball and barrel through people, and that's exactly what we needed. And it's like, oh no, Wenger didn't want to play where he wanted to play.
Did he play right wing back against Chelsea in the FA Cup final?
I think he did actually. Yeah,
maybe. Yeah,
he's another one of those players that just loved playing for Arsenal, and he was happy to play anywhere on the pitch.
And
no, that's why I think it's why he left because he didn't want to play. He didn't want to play wing back. He wanted to play. He wanted to play up.
He wanted to play for. He got an offer that he couldn't turn down from Liverpool.
Any of you three could play for Liverpool at his position. Come on now, Ox is a decent player on a perfect Arsenal squad. He's just a squad player, just like he is.
Which is what I wanted.
Liverpool.
He would have definitely forced great competition for whoever we were going to get or have. Because again, like I said, he's fast, he's strong. He's all right. But, I mean, you watch him play for Liverpool, he's got some crazy goals. He's got some stunners.
I agree.
Oh, man.
So, like I said, I'm not saying he would have been our star player by any means, but he definitely would have, at the very least, had been great competition for who we were bringing in. But
Stan the Man, I've just put a comment on the screen from Stan the Man as well. Another one. I felt the same, Stan. Diaby, I love Diaby as well. Another one that made me heartbroken.
That was a shame.
Yeah. He was as close to Vieira at the time that we could have possibly got. I think, even in looks, he looked like him as but the way his leg was broken, and I think he retired at what 28.
2014, like 20.
He was
28.
I think he was 28. He was really young.
Such a sad one. Yeah,
guys, I got to split. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Andrew, please put the link for these guys' Twitter and stuff in the comments. So I gotta get in touch with these guys on Twitter and shit. So,
Absolutely.
Guys, it was great to meet you.
All right, Glenn.
I gotta go. The Wookiee needs me. I'll talk to you later.
Hey, Glenn.
Take care, mate.
Cheers,
Take care.
Yeah.
I can't turn it off.
He was
Sorry,
funny.
man. I love that.
But so I remember yesterday it was on my account on my Twitter feed that the Ivys goal against Derby County was amazing. His goal against Derby was pretty awesome.
Yeah. He was very, very talented player, and another one that's career ended far too short. But I mean the big one for me was definitely Wilshire. I absolutely loved him, and well, I mean, he's not. Clearly, I'm not comparing him to his ability, but he's sort of Messi like in his stature, the way he played, his low center of gravity, his dribbling skills. He could do it all in his prime when he was like 18, 19. Very, very exciting player. And shame, real shame what happened to him. Obviously, we've had our fair share, haven't we? Cazorla, stand against us. Rosicky, another one. Ramsey, obviously.
Ramsey, yeah.
But obviously, he's come back very strong. But I mean, he's not playing at Juve, is it? Last time I heard, he played 3 games. Started 3 games.
I heard when he plays, he's like not good, not bad, but he's fighting for game time. So
maybe get him on loan for 6 months.
Yeah. It's fun. It's funny when he was here. I wanted to bring it up before Glenn left, but when he was here, I was not Ramsey's biggest fan. I did not like him. I just think he's just positionally, he's just terrible. I think he's what Guendouzi is now, where he just doesn't know where to be positionally. He was always like he's always ahead of our strikers, but it sucks because now that he's gone, we need a box-to-box midfielder. We need someone to how do I say this? We need someone to create chaos. Our team does not create chaos. So teams know how to play against us really well because we kind of stick to the book a little bit. We kind of need our almost like our Goldilocks goals and passes. But we need to be able to create chaos in the midfield. And I think that's why our midfield is not the best. Is we don't create chaos in that midfield. We don't make their midfield, their defenders worry about things. He's like, okay, like the Chelsea game's a perfect example. We were dominating them for 35 minutes. Lampard makes of a decision at 35 minutes to bring on Jorginho just to mark Ozil, Ozil, and the game went on it. Literally, he brought someone on to mark one person, and the game completely changed the other way. So, it kind of would be nice to have that Ramsey in the back pocket if we needed him, just someone who runs around all over the place and can be dangerous if you needed to.
I think also whenever Cazorla left, I think Ramsey was the only one that could link the midfield with the strikers, or at least pass it to Ozil.
I don't even think. I mean, maybe I'm wrong here. I don't even think he was that good at linking the midfield. I just think he was just good at like I said, creating chaos and running all over the field, putting tackles in, making plays, and again, he gets caught up a lot because positionally he's just not. He just wasn't that good. But
Guendouzi does the same thing.
Good goals, exactly. But the good thing with Guendouzi is he's young, and we have Arteta to kind of shape him. I don't think he'll ever be as fast as Ramsey, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, how could I forget Eduardo as well? One of my favourite.
Oh God!
I know. I mean, I was absolutely gutted when he got his injury as well. And you listen to our old physio Gary Lewin when he sort of he gave recounted the time when he sort of was on the pitch with him. And sort of literally trying to sort of calm him down from when he's. I mean that break was probably one of the worst you'll see, wasn't it? I mean, oh my God! And it's like Stan said, it cost us the league. I mean, we would have won the league, I think, that season, if it wasn't for that. And yeah, another one.
Andrew, is it the same game that goalless prior to the pitch?
I'm not sure. Can't remember, mate.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. But yeah, it was just horrific. And we've suffered more than our fair share of like pretty much career-ending injuries, haven't we? As for players, and yeah, I can't believe I forgot about that when we're talking about those injuries. There's another guy, I think, well, we touched on that one actually. We've done that. Kazawa from PSG. I'm going to say there's one thing I can't show you. It's not a very good audio thing, but I'm going to put it in again. I'll put it in the description. There's a guy on Twitter called Drew, which is @DrewW13. I just want to give him a shout out. And it's completely random, but he's put a picture on of his. He's obviously getting married. He's put a picture on of his. Like,
the Bruce Banat, yeah.
Yeah, have you seen it? Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
He got the lining done with the badge and the Bruce Banana lining. I mean, seriously, I've got to give the guy. As soon as I saw it, I thought I've got to give that guy a shout out. That he's gone to that much effort and expect.
That's awesome.
If you haven't seen it, anyone watching and listening to this, it's @DrewW13. I'll put the link of the tweet up if I can on the comments box. But yeah, go and have a look at that because the guy needs a good round of applause for doing that because I think that's quality.
Yeah, I'm getting married next year, so it's definitely on my radar. Something I should think about doing.
Well, you and Mesut are finally tied or not?
Yeah, next November.
November.
Yeah, so definitely. So I got time. So I, maybe I might just have it on the front of my suit. Just have the whole Bruce Banana kit as my suit. I don't know if the lady would like it.
Fantastic. Just fantastic. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I don't know what's happened to Max. Obviously, he hasn't been able to come on, which is a shame. Tony couldn't come on, which is a shame. I really appreciate everyone that's watched today. I've really enjoyed the show. Is there any other things before we close up that you guys want to touch on? Because I think we've pretty much gone through all the notes I wanted to discuss today. Oh, actually, yeah, one thing. The upcoming game against Sheffield United. Let's touch on that. I really would love to. I mean, I'm more confident than I was with the last game we had against Sheffield United, clearly. I still think it's going to be a really tough game. I really, really do. Although the way still this season, and that was against City. I think I'm right in saying that. What do you guys think about this? It's a 3:00 Saturday, which is nice again as well. Alonso, you go first. What do you think about the upcoming match this weekend?
Well, for a club that's been up, they're doing pretty well. They've been quite successful in their term here in the Premier League. So is it home or away?
Home.
We're home.
So it'll be a tough task given that the fact that they're fifth, right? Or fifth.
Yeah.
They are? I think they're sixth. Yeah, sixth.
So they're above us.
Yeah, they were. Absolutely.
So they're above us. So I think that we'll have a tough time against them given the fact that they have something to prove. But I think that we'll be all right. I think that we have a starting 11 that we can count on that will bring us home. I think that it'll be a tough game. I think it'll be a close game. I think that somehow we'll get a goal in from someone that we least expect. That's my prediction.
What, Lac'o'threat? Lac'o'threat.
Right, yeah.
Lac'o'threat.
And I think Pepe will have a game. I think he'll go for it. I think Pepe will score a goal. I think he'll make it right.
I hope you're right.
Yeah.
I'm not as positive. I'm not gonna say I'm negative at the game, but so Aubameyang has 48% of all of our goals this season. So I don't know if that makes him like a really good player or that makes him a really good player, but that makes him a really good player. And he's not going to be playing. So 48% of our goals are gone. So it's going to be tough. So I think Martinelli's really got to come through. And I think he's kind of like the perfect person to take on a team like Sheffield, who's very, no nonsense, likes to, be solid at the back and kind of almost like bully people around. But Martinelli's an engine, and I think he's gonna run well for 90 minutes. Hopefully, he plays all 90 minutes if things are going well. And we're home, so Lacazette should be able to put on some kind of game. He's been really crappy as of late, but we're home, and that's when he plays his best. So I wouldn't say I'm like really negative that we're gonna lose, but not having Aubameyang's a big deal. Like I said, 40% of our goals, but it's really gonna come down to I think like the triangle, like Pepe, Martinelli, Lacazette. Because I can't see Ozil showing up for a game like this against Sheffield. I think Sheffield's gonna bully him too much, but I don't know. We'll see. I think we'll probably draw though. Probably like a 1-1.
Do you think that Saka could be influenced?
Who?
Saka's going to be playing at left back.
Oh, he got to play, because Kolasinac probably isn't playing. So
but
I think they confirmed that Kolasinac isn't playing.
Do you think Saka's speed and Martinelli's speed on the left hand side will be quite an advantage for us?
Normally, yeah, but I don't think he will get a chance.
Yeah, I get a team like Sheffield. They're just gonna. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, we have Maitland-Niles on the right, Saka on the left. We have speed on the team, which is something that I think it's weird because we talked this whole podcast about how we need speed, we need pace, we need to create more chaos. But I think Saka's speed will definitely help us. I think Chris Wilder has that team playing great football, and just defensively, they're just. I mean, I think besides obviously like Liverpool, they're like up there for least conceded goals. So it's gonna be tough, and especially with a team defensively like that against us, who is missing 40% of their goals. It's gonna be extremely tough. But I think we could do it. We'll definitely make a goal, but with our midfield and defense playing the way they are, I could see us like conceding like almost like a David Luiz type goal from against Crystal Palace, like a dumb deflection. But we'll see.
I really, really, really hope I'm wrong, but I can't see us winning the game. I can't see us losing it either, though, which is a good thing. I think it will be more likely a draw. I really hope I'm wrong. I really, really hope I'm wrong, but I think we're going to find it really tough. Like I said, we've got Kolasinac missing. We're going to have Torreira missing. Obviously, Aubameyang missing. I think that's it.
But I saw today that Torreira has a chance.
He's
a doubt, but he could play. But
I hope so because we do need him. And I think that the most thing. Do you know what you said earlier about Mesut Ozil? Funnily enough, I think in this game, the way that Sheffield United play, he could be our most important player if he does.
If Ozil shows up, then I'm more confident in us winning. But I can't see that. I don't see him showing up. I just don't. He
could be the actual key though to this, because the way that they play and their mad, weird, overlapping centre backs and the way that the fullbacks move up and down and push it. That's why I don't think Saka will or AMN will have much of an effect on the wings this game. I think that if we're going to do it, it'll be in that pocket where Ozil plays and. Just that he could be the key to unlock their defense, and
I think Pepe is going to be the key to unlocking their defense. I think defensively we need to play like a little further back, and I think just have Pepe just run at them, dribble past them. So I think technically, Pepe can dribble around them all day long. It's just the fact that. Do you know what? And I think also piggybacking on what you're saying, I think if Ozil can find the space between the midfield and the defense to get open, if Pepe could use his speed, use his technical ability to dribble past the midfield. I think it could unlock Ozil, and I think you're right too. Like Ozil can be the guy too, and can make plays.
I think that I seriously think that they will deal with Pepe like a piece of piss. I think. I honestly think that he'll be running down cul-de-sac after cul-de-sac after cul-de-sac in this game.
Yeah, hey guys, is Ceballos available to play?
As
Yeah.
far as I'm aware, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I honestly think they should start him. I don't think we should even play Torreira because don't forget we have Chelsea in 3 days. We have Chelsea on Tuesday, so I don't think it's worth playing Torreira to risk him getting hurt even more, and then he's out again. Because I'd rather rest him for Chelsea, Torreira.
So could this is a weird question, but could you play Guendouzi at Xhaka's spot?
Oh, you can.
I mean, you can.
I wouldn't be very comfortable.
You want to play Guendouzi and Ceballos? I mean,
Well, given
go for it.
given we need speed, but that I'm just curious to know how if and how that could work.
I mean, if Torreira doesn't play, which I definitely think he's not going to play. Like even if he can play, I think Arteta is like, I'm going to keep him for Chelsea. I think that Xhaka is 100% starting. So it's just a matter of who's playing alongside Xhaka. Will it be Ceballos? Will it be Guendouzi? I don't know. I don't think he's going to risk putting Ceballos in just because he hasn't really seen too much of him. But
his first game back.
Yeah,
I think we might see him for the last 20 to 30 minutes of games from now on.
I could even see him like if like we're really in a pickle and like he wants to change something. I could see him like bringing off Xhaka or Guendouzi or Xhaka for Ceballos at like halftime. Maybe if he wants to make a dramatic change, if like things aren't going the way he wants it to go. But yeah, like I said, like last 20 minutes, I think would be like perfect.
I could have seen Emery taking off Xhaka and bringing him off somewhere, but I'm not sure about Arteta. I think he's professional.
Yeah.
You know, I want to see how Luis can do at the central defensive midfielder spot. You know, I mean, I'm just curious how that could work, Luis.
Oh yeah, he when he played it in the Europa League, I forget who he played, but it was the Europa League. He played that, and he was really good. And then he got hurt and he had to come off.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
But I would love to see him get a run in center back, defensive midfielder. But we have no center backs, so slim pickings.
Right.
No, exactly. I mean, we're literally down to 3 centre backs, and one of those is Chambers. No, sorry, Chambers Holding. I mean, who is woefully short of match fitness. So
we have Mustafi too. Don't forget. Come on, the German John Stones.
Do you know what? I actually completely forgot about Mustafi. That's weird, isn't it? So yeah. I'd like to think we can win on Saturday. But I just think they're better than people think. I still think they're better than people think.
We could definitely win, but I agree. I think they're better than people make them out to be.
Genuinely,
like last year.
Chris Wilder should win the Premier League Manager of the Year without question, but he won't. It'll be Klopp.
I mean, if they keep doing what they're doing right now, it'd be very hard. I mean, unless like Liverpool like go undefeated, then I feel like you have to give it a Klopp.
Oh God.
Yeah, but it'll just be the bloody Klopp again. But yeah,
I love Klopp, so I'm not like arguing, but I
seriously, Chris Wilder
deserved it.
Well,
Definitely deserves it.
But he just knows how to completely nullify teams, but without being boring. His teams still are amazing to watch. I don't know. I honestly can't quite get my head around how they play still, and that's the thing that people say. I heard on another show that they'll get worked out very quickly and easily. Well, they've been playing that way for 3 years now, and no one has. They did it for 2 years in the Championship. Not one team worked out how to nullify them or work them out, and no one's worked out how to nullify them in the Premier League yet. And it's just. It's nothing short of a miracle, really, with the squad that he's got and the players that where they've got the players from. Like John Fleck, I mean, I've said it before, but he's a quality player he is, and they got him from Coventry on a free transfer from League One, and he's just he's spotting of players who will fit into his team and do what they're told.
And work for it, which
amazing, absolutely amazing. That's incredible skill, incredible recruitment, and that's the way that they've gone now. And that's how people say 98% of the job of a manager is recruitment, and it certainly can tell that with a lot of teams like Sheffield United, who play a lot of other teams like us off the park. That's probably about a 5% of the squad value. But there we go. I think we'll leave it there, if that's all right with you guys. Well, you ain't got a choice because I'm going to shut it down. But thanks so much for coming on. It's been brilliant. I've really enjoyed it. I hope you'll come on again soon.
Been fun.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, and we'll have another show next week. Please tune in. Please give us a like before you go. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell because it does help us get noticed and get the show out there. So thanks again. Thanks everyone for listening for the audio later on. And I will speak to you all very, very soon. Good luck, Arsenal, at the weekend. Take care, guys.
Cheers.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
See you.